Hello, this is T. Levon Lawrence. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about taking good training notes. Taking good training notes will speed up your progress, help you get to where you want to get to a lot faster, and actually provide you kind of a record that you can use as a reference to keep you from making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And you can also refer back to those notes when you want to teach somebody else the kind of skills that you're going to be acquiring. As for myself, well, what do you take notes on? I use a hardbound journal. Well, most of the time. Other times I'll actually use my laptop and I'll type out the information of the things that I learn so that I can pass them on to you. Now, you can use any form of paper. A lot of times on the exercises, you'll see that I ask you to, just grab a sheet of paper, a notebook, a spiral bound. But if you can get a hold of one of these hardbound journals, makes for a great piece to your library. And it's like Anthony Robbins said, a life worth living is worth recording. When you go into your first month here in the Neurosculpting Training Studio, the first thing you'll run into is taking good training notes in your first month in the introduction. In your first training notes, you'll see the first exercise that I give you, which is a life application exercise, chronicling your training experience. Going to be very important. Read that one. You can download the PDF and print it off. But also in that section, I give you a written, detailed example of what I consider to be good training notes. You can take the notes any way you want to, as long as you're able to communicate yourself what it is you experience during training. What kind of problems do you run into? You know that you're going to have the four horsemen of mental resistance. You know you're going to have wandering thoughts. You're going to have wandering attention. You're going to have fatigue. And you're going to have outside distractions that would otherwise steal your attention from what you're doing. Those things are going to happen. You want to know which one keeps bothering you during any particular type of exercise. Let's say you're doing a basic mental object retention exercise where you're holding a simple image on the stage of your imagination. You don't want it to shift or fade or warp in any particular way. You're doing the exercise, you've got an image of a triangle, it's red in color, and boom, something happens out here. You lose attention, you go and you start looking at, hey, what's going on? Well, you automatically fail the exercise because you forgot what you were supposed to be doing. You're now paying attention to something else. No big deal. You know that you time it. Okay, you stop your timer. You get ready to start it over again, and then you'll know, hey, I don't care what happens out here. I don't care if a bomb blows up. I'm not going to let it detract my attention. I'm going to use my resolve, and I'm going to stay here. Okay, great experience. Write it down. Okay, I began the basic mental object retention exercise. At about the 3-minute point, I heard a dog barking. It stole my attention. I probably forgot all about the exercise for, say, 20 seconds. Then I remembered it. I had to start back over. When I began the exercise again, I was absolutely resolved that nothing would distract my attention. For a full 5 minutes, I was able to do the exercise without my attention wandering anywhere. Folks, that's good notes. Why? You know the exercise that you were doing. You know the type of distraction. It was an external distraction. You know that you did resolve that you were not going to be distracted again, and you know how long you were able to conduct the exercise this time without being distracted. And no matter which of the four horsemen manages to steal your attention away, whether it's just wandering attention, whether you wander off into thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future or into a fantasy, whether you just feel too doggone tired to do the exercise, or whether it was an external distraction, you take notes of that. You figure out a strategy in your own mind or through the advice of the studio for getting past that limitation, from getting past that cognitive habit. And when you have that record in hand, you can look back and you can actually see your progress. Because, sometimes we begin the training and we're training for a week and we don't really pay attention to our change of experience during that entire time. Folks, you can't train for a week and there not be some form of change. If you take good notes, you can see that change. And if you run into any consistent problems, you'll have it written down. you'll be able to contact me or one of the other mental fitness trainers, and we can refer back to those notes to find out what the issue is. So go into your first month, look at the taking training notes, a cool example, download the PDF, and of course, you'll find a video there. If you have any problems, contact me at trainer@neurosculpting.com.